Hello, this is the Bible in fewer words. We are Carol and Steve Wells. This is episode 79, Joshua, chapters 5 and 6. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Carol. This is the episode you were
singing about.
That's right.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Okay, are we just going to jump into it?
Well, yeah, I think so.
All right, this is chapter 5. When the Amorites and the Canaanites heard that God had dried up the Jordan so that the Israelites could cross over, their hearts melted.
You know, that isn't something you'd think they'd see, right?
No.
Everybody was watching, or maybe they just heard people talked about it. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it is weird. And hearts melted because they felt good or because they felt scared?
They were afraid.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
God said to Joshua, "Make sharp knives and circumcise the male Israelites the second time."
Okay, how could you circumcise somebody twice?
It sounds rather unpleasant, doesn't it?
They didn't quite take enough foreskin off the first time.
I wouldn't volunteer for that operation. But I think that what they're talking about here is not that they're going to be circumcising men again, because all the men had died before, right?
Oh, yes.
All the men who left Egypt had died. Maybe they were circumcised already. But then they had all the
youngins.
the young men that have grown up since on the trip, and apparently they hadn't been circumcised.
That's
bizarre.
Yeah, and so now they're going to do it all at once.
Okay.
They're going to have 600,000
Men
and foreskins. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that is bizarre. Why weren't they doing it on the way?
I don't know.
Isn't there something about at 6 days or
8 days. 8 days, and God is insistent upon that.
Yeah.
I mean, he almost killed Moses because he didn't do it with his son.
Yes, Zipporah.
Very, very strange. But because they're just doing it with rocks, there would have been plenty of rocks. So that's not an excuse. We didn't have any rocks. Didn't have any good knives.
So now somebody's making knives.
They're making some sharp rocks. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, no, sharp knives.
Sharp knives.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe so.
So they have new implements now.
Yeah.
Less chance of.
Well,
whatever.
it would certainly be easier than what Zipporah had to do. She just did it with a rock, right?
Yes. Okay, so this is verse 3. So Joshua made some knives and circumcised the Israelites at the hill of the foreskins.
That must have taken him a while, huh?
Yeah.
And the hill of the foreskins.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
Next time I go hiking, I will name a hill the hill of the foreskins.
This was necessary because all the males who had left Egypt during the Exodus died in the wilderness because they disobeyed God. Remember that?
Oh, yes.
And what they're specifically talking about here was the 10 spies.
Oh,
That's
really?
what God's so upset that he wanted to kill. And the Israelites, when they heard the 10 spies come back and say, there's giants there, and they're pretty strong, it won't be easy.
No.
And the people say, we should just go back to Egypt.
Yeah.
We were better off there. God got so mad, he said he wanted to kill everyone. Moses talked him out of it, and God said, okay, I won't kill everyone, but I'll kill them later.
Some of you. Yes.
They'll all die before
they get to the promised land.
Yep.
So this is the promised land, right?
That's right.
We haven't actually said those words together up until now.
Well, I haven't even said it yet. Right? We do.
I have.
We have, yeah. So that was back in episode 59, back in Numbers. The book of Numbers was where that happened, where God got so angry that he decided he'd kill everyone. So now they have to circumcise everybody that
hasn't yet been circumcised,
or that
the young
was
people.
born since, I guess.
But the males who were born in the wilderness hadn't yet been circumcised. The Israelites stayed at the hill of the foreskins until the males had recovered from their circumcisions. I would like to have more details on the process.
I do have a picture there. You can kind of
good. Yeah. Oh, we do have a recovering from circumcision story that we've already done.
Well, yeah, sure. That was back Shechem, right? Shechem and Dinah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Joshua was near Jericho, he saw a man with a sword. The man said, I'm captain of the host of the Lord.
Joshua fell on his face to worship him and said, What do you have to say to me?
And the captain of the Lord's host said to Joshua, "Take off your shoe, because you're standing on holy ground."
So Joshua took off his shoe. Just one? Then is he standing on one
That's
leg?
what it says. He took off his shoe. And that's the end of that story.
Okay,
Isn't that a straight? Apparently it's an angel.
Uh-huh.
God sent him with a
To
sword.
say, hi.
Yeah, take off your shoe. You're standing on holy ground. Strange. But that's pretty much all there is to that little incident.
All right. So chapter 6. God said to Joshua, "See, I have given you Jericho. You and your soldiers will walk around the city once a day for 6 days.
7 priests will go before the ark with 7 trumpets of ram's horns. On the 7th day, walk around the city 7 times while the priests blow their trumpets."
Okay, how big is the city we're thinking?
I don't know. Have no idea. There's no evidence that any of this happened, of course. They've been looking for signs of Jericho and the slaughter that supposedly occurred. There's no archaeological evidence for it. So
Okay,
who
so
knows?
no big walls.
No, nothing. Mm-mm.
All right.
But it's interesting how much God loves the number 7.
Yes.
Get 7 priests with 7 trumps, have them walk around for 7 days, 7 times, while the priests blow their trumpets.
That's a lot of blowing.
Yep.
So they get up like on day 5 and say, "All right, guys, time to start blowing all day long." They're blowing their horns. Well, maybe that's when they came up with the song.
Maybe.
All right, verse 17.
The priests will blow a long blast from the ram's horns, and all the people will shout, and the walls will fall down.
Okay, that is some high vibration frequencies we got going on there. Okay, so wait a minute. All the walls are just falling down, and that harlot's, Rahab, is that her name?
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to work.
Her house should fall down if all the walls are falling down.
Maybe we'll find out how she escapes.
Okay. Joshua said to the people, "The city and everything in it is accursed. Only Rahab, the harlot, shall live."
Keep away from the accursed thing, or you will become accursed, along with all of Israel. All the silver, gold, brass, and iron must go to God's treasury.
Okay, so how would you get the gold, silver, brass, and iron without going to the accursed town?
No, the accursed thing.
The accursed thing.
It's never really said what the accursed thing is, but stay away from it.
Okay, so it's not the city and everything in it is accursed.
No.
There's one thing, and we don't know what that is.
That's right.
Okay. When the people shouted and the priests blew their trumpets, the walls of Jericho fell down.
The Israelites slaughtered everyone in the city of Jericho except Rahab, women and children, old people, and animals with the edge of the sword.
Joshua said to the men who were sent to Jericho,
"Go to the harlot's house and bring out the woman and all that she has, as you promised."
Didn't they promise they wouldn't kill her family either?
Yeah, and it seems like they've already knocked the walls down, right? And she lived in the wall. So I don't know how that's going to work.
I don't either. The spies did as Joshua commanded and brought out Rahab, her family, and her possessions. Okay, there they mention her family. Then they burned the city, keeping only the silver, gold, brass, and iron, which they put into God's treasury.
Joshua said, "Whoever tries to rebuild Jericho will be accursed by God and will have to sacrifice both their oldest and their youngest sons in its construction."
Really?
Yeah, and according to the Bible, later on in 1 Kings, this supposedly happens.
That they try to rebuild
Jericho.
Jericho.
And the guy has to sacrifice his sons in the construction project.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wait a second. Isn't that the reason God delivered into their hands so that they could inhabit it?
Mm-hmm.
But they can't rebuild it? It's like a restriction
that's
on
a good point.
Property.
I don't know. Apparently God didn't want it ever to be rebuilt. Yeah, and I guess later on, someone decided they were going to do it. And then they had this curse followed.
Okay, and so then everybody else said, forget it, we're not going to rebuild this town.
Yeah, but we got to wait until 1 Kings to find out the details on that.
Okay, so verse 27, the last verse we have here. So God was with Joshua, and he became famous throughout the country. God became famous, or Joshua became famous?
I think Joshua.
We think God already had a reputation.
He did.
Probably. Okay, well, Joshua.
We did the...
and foreskins.
Yeah, the hill of the foreskins, and the walls fell down at Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
That's the famous one, right? That's the one they have a song about.
Yes, and I wonder if in the song they say, never to be rebuilt again.
No, I don't. Well, I'm not familiar with. I just kind of know the
tune.
chorus, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at those words.
Yeah.
See if they're biblically in line.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have time next time and you can sing it for us.
That's okay. All right. Hey, well, thanks. This was kind of short and sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks, listeners. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.